So prototypes. We all know what those are, right? That's Pomni's name and Poppy
Spill it,
playtime.
Jimmy. Poppy's playtime.
All right, that's the mandatory SML reference of the video and prototypes. Basically, everything that exists in the world had some kind of prototype version of it. If you think about it, but before it made its way to store shelves, had to be tested somehow. And of all things, that of course includes all those stupid little toys made for chuddy consumers like me. Prototype toys are usually never seen by the public outside of like Toy Fair, I guess. But because of their elusiveness and the fact that most of them are just fully one of a kind, they're often highly sought after by collectors and get sold for incredibly high prices whenever they're found. And I personally think that these sorts of things are very interesting and make for a really good video topic. That's why we're here now. Yeah, baby. I think the most interesting prototypes are the ones of products that never actually hit store shelves, like these Funko FNAF plushies that leaked somewhat recently. Discovered by Twitter users @RattyCheese and @FJazzwareFan, were some unreleased Funko FNAF plushies, including a plush of Woodland Toy Freddy, a plush of Dark Springtrap, a plush of a yellow Blacklight Cupcake, a small-sized green Blacklight Freddy plush, a jumbo Golden Freddy plush with different eyes, a tie-dye Chica plush with different colors, and a baby plush that looks like a plush baby, which is a probably very confusing sentence if you don't know FNAF, but trust me, it makes sense. We also got a new look at the original prototype Funtime Foxy plush that originally had the same teeth as the Funko Nightmare plushies, which before this leak we hadn't seen since it was first revealed in like 2016. From what I can gather, it seems Jazzware is the one who actually owns all or most of these plushies, or at the very least knows who does. It's kind of unclear, although I do know that a certain someone did buy at least a few of them, so that kind of sucks. Hopefully they stay far away from that Mr. Hippo plushie. Look, you two guys are just FNAF fans, all right? Mr. Pizzeria, he's the devil.
Alright guys, how do I look?
Dude, you look racist!
As for why these plushies never got released, honestly, I couldn't even begin to think of a reason for most of them. What was so bad about a small green Blacklight Freddy? Why does Big Brother get to live but not him? The only ones I could think of potential explanations for are Woodland Toy Freddy, one, mainly just because who the fuck knows who this character even is? Funko was doing a lot of FNAF AR plushes around 2022, 2023, if I remember correctly, but because FNAF AR is like such a relatively niche and obscure game, and most of these characters are very forgettable, these plushies did not sell well. Like, I remember even seeing the exclusives getting piled up at, like, fucking Five Below. Funko probably saw just how poorly all the other AR merch was selling and chose just to can this thing, which honestly, yeah, probably a smart move on their part. Also doesn't help that FNAF AR kinda shut down. I also think Dark Springtrap makes sense to why he never released, because nobody cares about Dark fucking Springtrap. He's just Funko's OC.
Did everyone enjoy that?
Dark Springtrap merch.
No,
Funko.
only you did.
Oh, well, that was pretty much my target audience anyway.
I'm actually kind of sad they didn't go with this design for the Golden Freddy plush also. I really like the big bulging eyes a lot more than the sewn-in flat eyes. I think these big bulgy ones just look funnier. I like the prototype Tada Chica more than the final release too, and never forget they took Trans Chica from us. Some other unreleased plushes that I find really intriguing are these Sonic Boom plushies. Despite its kind of cult following today, the show at the very least, Sonic Boom was still obviously a very large commercial failure for Sega, so when the brand went under, most of the merch ended up getting shit-canned along with it. Obviously. The main manufacturer for the Sonic Boom toys was a company called Tomy, and as far as I know, they released 2 waves of plushies. Tomy released, as far as I know, 2 full waves of Sonic Boom plushies, consisting of basically all the main characters, as well as these weird, like, gimmicky variations of them, like these big head plushies or these weird, like, emoji plush things. But there was actually a 3rd wave of Sonic Boom plushies that went unreleased due to the brand's failure. This wave would have consisted of these emoji Eggman and Shadow plushies, these big-headed Sonic, Metal Sonic, and Styx plushies, and what I personally see as the most tragic loss, the ever-elusive Cubot plush. For those of you who don't know, an Orbot plush did release a part of an earlier wave, but the Cubot plush unfortunately never came out, leaving the toxic codependent yaoi forever unfinished. These guys all look basically finalized and ready to go. I mean, they're all shown off at Toy Fair, so it is pretty clear that their cancellation was a direct result of the fact that Sonic Boom, the brand as a whole, went under. Still though, I do hope someday someone makes new Orbot and Cubot plushies. I think they're relevant enough that it could happen. I mean, GE will make a fucking Motobug plush, they'll do anything. I mean, come on. If they'll give us Bean the Dynamite, I don't think Orbot and Cubot are out of the question, yeah, just saying. Now, these next plushies are more of a strange case, because we seemingly only know about them because of a mistake, those being the original Digital Circus Jax and Pomni plushies. These two were featured on the Glitch store for a good while, and were both used in the very first 2 ever merch ad videos for TADC. However, for whatever reason, maybe because these ads were filmed before the final plushes were made, maybe because somewhere along the line, someone made a little oopsie and grabbed the wrong Jax plush by mistake. Whatever the reason may be, these are not the same plushies they actually sold. The Jax plushes images on the merch store would actually be updated just a few weeks after the pilot dropped, if I remember correctly, being replaced with these ones, which this is the plush people actually received if they bought it. As far as I know, no one actually owns this specific Jax toy aside from Glitch themselves, as it was, as stated before, featured in some merch ads. The Pomni plush changed too, although she's much less noticeable, and her photo wasn't updated on the website till much later. To compare and contrast the two a bit as we see them in the original ads versus the final releases, like I said, Pomni didn't change that much. The prototype just looks slightly worse quality. The brim on her hat looks weird. I don't think it's sewn on right. Also, the 2 little hair pieces at the front of her head just kind of like one solid brown chunk here. I think the bigger one is just overlapping the smaller one. And also, she just has just terrible posture. Jax, though, as you can probably tell just by looking at them, changed a lot more. The original Jax had a much rounder head with slightly shorter ears, skinnier and longer arms, much smaller feet, and his overalls were directly sewn into the body pattern as opposed to the final release, which has them as a fully separately attached piece. He's also just much bigger and rounder and fatter overall. Fun fact, since this was the first version of plush we ever saw, this is what all the bootleggers based their plushies off of. I actually do genuinely really like this design, although I do get why they changed it. There were some weird decisions made with it, like since he has nothing even close to a neck, his overall straps just kind of stop right underneath his chin. They don't even like try to go over his shoulder or anything, which the final release fixed, but still. I think the final release is a better depiction of the character in plush form, but the prototype better captures the spirit of Jax. How these end up in the ads and on the merch website for so long, I have no idea. I honestly think it was just a really weird mistake, because by the time the Kane plush rolled around, they were already onto the new Pomni and Jax plushes that they sell now. But I guess we'll never know. I really want to know where these two are today. The answer is probably just a box somewhere in Glitch HQ or like a random employee's house, but still, I need to know if Fat Fuck Jax is okay. That's his name now, Fat Fuck Jax. The final plush I want to talk about today isn't technically a prototype, I don't think. It might be, but also not really. It's very complicated, and that's why I find it so interesting. This plush being the strange variant of the Kid Robot DHMIS Yellow Guy plush. I actually originally planned to make an entire video about this one plush and how strange it is, but that plan ended up falling through, so now it's part of this video. Yeah! Basically, when Kid Robot first released their Don't Hit Me I'm Scared plushies, there was this weird variant of the Yellow Guy plush some people were finding. The more common one you're all probably familiar with looks like this. But some people also managed to find this weird little guy, who looks like an almost unfinished early prototype of the final version, although for whatever reason, both ended up coming out at the same time. This version has what looks like just a more unfinished face with bigger, bulgier eyes and no tongue. His watch doesn't have its black rim and its strap is green for some reason. And the most noticeable difference, of course, being Warren the Eagle popping out of his ear, with a lot more blood being present than the other version. This second version was never really advertised as being part of the set or anything, although there is this one product photo of it. Some people got this instead of the normal yellow guy plush when they ordered online, and then some stores also got shipments of these instead of the regular plush when they were first coming out, and we don't really know why. It seems like somewhere along the production pipeline, some mistake happened and both plushes ended up getting a mass release, and if I had to guess, the Warren plush is probably an earlier prototype design, given its sort of unfinished look. I know I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but genuinely, I have no idea how a mistake like this happens. And before you comment it, no, I don't think this plush is meant to be like a chase variant of the main plush or something like that. I did think that for like a while, but I feel like if it was, they probably would have actually advertised it as such, but no official DHMI's outlets have ever actually acknowledged this thing's existence. Plus, I don't think it would look so incomplete if it was. Also, if it was a chase variant, it probably would have been exclusive to some specific retailer, but I've seen accounts of this guy being found at all kinds of different places. Out of all the plushes we've looked at today, this is the one I honestly want the most. I just really like him. I think he's neat, okay? Too bad he's fucking impossible to track down, though. I think I've ever seen him resold once. Something of note, though, is that the website ToyWiz actually has a listing for this plush that uses the single stock image that exists of this weird variant of it, although I don't know if this was the version you'll actually get if you purchase it. I haven't actually bought it myself. Maybe in the future I will, but as of this current moment, I am what we like to call poor, so I have not bought it, but maybe one day I'll buy it and I'll test this theory. If anyone watching this has one, though, I would just love to take it off your hands. DM me on Twitter if you do. It's right here. Go on, do that. Also follow me while you're at it too. And that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit different from usual, but you know, hey, maybe if enough of you guys, you know, liked this, I'll do some more of these, like more like casual, just kind of like rambly videos where you just talk about like one really specific thing for however long. So yeah, I don't really know how to end this. Here's fat ass Jax again, just cause I like him.
Like a bunny doing hop, hop, like they always do. Hop, like a bunny doing hop, hoppity hop.
Hello, neighbor.